Hello, welcome to Nutrition 101 with your host, Coach Wisdom here. So, in this video, I'm gonna be teaching you about 95% of what you need to know about nutrition and how to lose weight, recomp, which is basically staying the same weight but reshaping your body, and also about how to build muscle optimally and what you need to focus on eating to get there. So, you ready for this video? I think you are. So, let's begin. Number one is you must start to track your foods. This is the most important thing if you're looking to lose weight and really get that scale moving, okay? So, why do we track our foods? We track our foods because when you're eating healthy, it's not enough. You gotta make sure that you're eating the right amount just for you. So, not eating too little, not eating too much, eating just right so that you're losing about a good 1% of your body weight, or even a little bit less, 0.5% per week. Now, why is it important to lose weight a little slower? It's important because when people start their fitness journey, I see one common theme going on, and that's everyone's racing to the front lines. Everyone's trying to lose weight as fast as they can. And that is not what you want to do, because when you do that, you're gonna get burned out, you're gonna ruin your metabolism, and you're not giving your body enough time to build more muscle, which is the most important part of reshaping your body. Unless you're looking to just be skinny and flabby. Then you don't have to worry about building muscles at all. So, I'm gonna give you an analogy, okay? Imagine you are a CEO of a science company. Whoa, that's nice, huh? And you are hiring. So, you're in the hiring process, and imagine you got two applicants, okay? So, applicant A, he comes in, he's dressed all nice in a suit, right? His hair's done, nicely shaven, smells good, and you tell him, listen, I'm looking for someone who could follow directions. Here is the lab experiment. I want to make sure you get in, for example, 50 milliliters of color A, and then 100 milliliters of color B, and then 200 milliliters of color C. So you're watching applicant A, you know, he's well-groomed, and you're watching him use the scale. He's pouring color A and making sure it's 50 milliliters, super cool. Then he's gonna fill color B, make sure it's 100 milliliters, and then he finally pours in color C and make sure it's 200 milliliters, just like what you said in the directions. Yes! Okay? So he did great, right? He's tracking. So he's giving you the product exactly how you told him to give it, okay? Now, applicant B, he comes in, he's not shaving at all, he's got a beard going on, he's got some food growing in his beard, he, smells kind of weird, it's probably been a little long since he showered, it's probably been a week, he kind of smells. He, wearing super baggy clothes, and he just looks like he just got out of bed literally and just came to the interview, all right? So same, you give him directions, you tell him, listen, I need 50 milliliters for color A, I need 100 milliliters for color B, and I need 200 milliliters for color C. So he's like, oh, okay, I can do that. He starts getting the colors out, right? Color A, he just starts pouring, he's not using a scale. No! By the way, he's just like, oh, that looks about right. Then he gets color B, he pours again, oh yeah, I think that's about 100. Then he gets color C, pours it, and you could just tell color C, he poured as much as color B, but he's like, oh, well, that looks like a little bit more than color B, so that looks about 200, and he gives it to you. What are you gonna do? You're gonna be sitting there thinking, you didn't track anything, you just guessed, you just eyeballed it. This is what happens when people are trying to lose weight, right? Or trying to reshape their body, but they're not tracking their calories, their food. So, in this journey, we are gonna be counting calories and also protein so that we can be like applicant A, right? The well-groomed, smells good. You could tell he's doing his job right because he's tracking everything correctly. Because no one in the world is gonna hire applicant B. unless, well, they want their company to fail. And in this case, if you are gonna be hiring applicant B, you are gonna be basically ensuring the failure of your company, which is your body, your weight loss journey, or your recomp journey, okay? So that is number one. You gotta make sure you are tracking your calories so that we know we're not eating too little, we're eating the right amount, and not eating too much. So now you're probably wondering, okay, so Wisdom, you're saying I gotta count calories. Well, what is that? What's calories? Good question. Let me show you. This is what I'm talking about. You're probably familiar with this. I'm sure you've seen this before, right? This is what nutrition facts look like. So, number one, let's go over how to do this. So easy to read. The first part, you always want to look at the serving size. So see right here's the serving size, right? And it says 12 grams or 1 cake. Now here's a hack. I'll tell you right now. Never ever use the 1 cake. Always weigh it out, because when you weigh it out, it's much more accurate. So serving size, 1 cake or 12 grams is 50 calories. So that means that one of these is 50 calories. So if you have 2 of these, right? 2 times 50, that's 100 calories. If you have 3 of these, that's 3 times 50, 150. And that should come out to 12 times 3, which is 36 grams, okay? So far it's like, oh, I know this stuff, this is easy. And also you see here it says servings per container is 14. So that means that in this entire thing right here, there is 14 of these little cakes. So that's 14 times 50, so there's 700 calories in this whole thing if you were to eat it in one sitting. Now, let's go over the next part. So we see here we got fat 2, we got carbs 8, and we got protein less than 1. Counting calories and protein is very easy, because when you're counting macros, which is counting fat, carbs, and protein, you have to count all 3 and make sure that you hit your allotted number every single day. You're probably thinking, whoa, that sounds hard. Yes, it is. It is definitely a bit harder for people who are not used to counting. So that's why we're just gonna be focusing on counting calories and counting protein. So every single time you go and look at the nutrition fact of anything, you just gotta look at the calories and at the protein. You don't have to worry about the carbs or the fats, okay? So let's go over another example, because I'm sure people like more than one examples. Example number 2, these are Kodiak cakes. These are great for breakfast. Like I said, always look at the serving size, right? So serving size, it says half a cup. Never ever use cups for measurement. Always go with 53 grams, because if you use half a cup, you might be getting way more than the 180 calories it says here. You might be getting 200 calories, you might be getting 220. It's very, very easy to mess up. Let me show you what I mean. So here's a food scale. See this shiny thing? You need one. I'm gonna say it one more time. Pay very close attention. You need one. So right now, go on Amazon and get a food scale, okay? If you don't have one already. So let me show you what happens. Here is an actual measurement cup, okay? Make it to 0. And we're gonna make sure that we weigh it out to exactly, let me show you the serving size again, for those who don't remember, 53 grams, right? Always look right here, 53 grams. There you have it, 53 grams. I know it says 54, but when you're off by 1, don't worry about it too much. So this right here is 1 serving, okay? Now, if you take a look, I'm gonna show you something very interesting, okay? As you can see, it's not even a half cup. It's at about 1/3 of a cup. So if I were to use half a cup, right? See the half cup right there? It comes out to 74 grams. Now, for those of you who are not good at math, that's about an extra 90 more calories. But if you take a look, Now it's about half a cup. See that? Half a cup. And this is a precise measurement cup, guys. So this is exactly why I tell everyone, do not ever use what it says about cups, okay, or tablespoons. Always go grams or ounces if it's provided. So again, always go grams or ounces if it's provided, because for someone that's new, that doesn't know how to count calories too well, and they just see, oh, half a cup. They pour half a cup thinking it's 180 calories, when half a cup right here, right, comes out to 74 grams. It's actually really 270 calories. An extra 90 calories from a innocent mistake. So that's why we make sure always weigh in grams or ounces. Number 3, do you want to build muscle? Get lean, look good, and make sure that all the effort you're putting in the gym, it's gonna count for something. Then you gotta make sure you follow tip number 3, and that's getting enough protein. So just a reminder, right? Protein is at the bottom right here. And so for the Kodiak cakes that we just recorded, 8 grams for 1 serving, okay? We gotta make sure that we're counting protein. So calories and protein. Why is it important to get protein? So let me tell you why, because I'm sure you're thinking about it, or you would try to ask me if you were next to me right now. So this is why. Imagine that you are trying to actually build a muscle, okay? And you're working hard, you're lifting weights, you're doing push-ups and squats. You're doing all that so that you can be stronger, of course, but also you can look better. If you're not getting enough protein, you are massively slowing down your progress. And that's why it's so important that you are getting enough protein every single day. Your protein are the building blocks for your muscles, for your body to build muscle. So imagine this. I love analogies. Let's say that you hired a construction company, right? And you want to build a house. And you tell them, okay, I want to build a beautiful house. 20 windows, 4 bathrooms, 8 bedrooms, whatever. It's on a lake. You can see everything. It's beautiful. And you got this aspiration. You got dreams, right? To live in it. It's going to be a great life. The construction companies come over. And the construction workers, they come and they're getting ready to build the house. You give them the blueprint, how you want it to look, right? And you're telling them, all right, get to work. And so they're sitting around and they're thinking, okay, let's get to work. But here's the problem. You did not provide them any wood, any cement, any nails, any hammers, nothing. You're not providing them with any tools that they need to build that house. So this is the same concept. If you're not getting enough protein in, okay, and you're telling your body, build muscle, build muscle, build muscle, but if you're not giving your body the protein it needs, then the construction workers are gonna be sitting around thinking, we're trying to build you this muscle, this house, but we're not getting the protein in. The wood, the cement, the nails. We need that stuff so we can build. So that's why it's important that when you're counting calories, you gotta make sure that you're also counting protein. And that's how you're going to build muscle a lot faster. I'm talking 4, 5, 6 times faster. And time is of the essence, isn't it? We all wanna make sure we get our results as quickly as possible. Well, if you're in that boat, then this is where the protein comes in. So we gotta prioritize on getting protein with every single meal and hitting that target at the end of the day. So that's tip number 3. Number 4, so you're thinking, wisdom, I understand now how to count calories when there's nutrition labels that are laid out for me. But what about things like strawberries and blueberries and avocados? There's no nutrition fact for it. There is. Let me show you how to do that. This is where you're gonna go. You're gonna go to calorieking.com. All right? So once you're at this website, this should pop up and you're gonna type in strawberries. Since we're gonna weigh out some strawberries right now. And what you're gonna click on, of course, you're gonna click on strawberries raw. We're not having strawberry ice cream. We're not having strawberry sponge cream, whatever that says. So click on strawberries. And since we weighed it to 10.2 ounces, this is what we do. Go to serving right here, click on ounces, go over here, type in 10.2, and there you go. That's the calories, 92. Here's the protein, 1.9. So that's how you're gonna do all the foods with no nutrition labels. Avocados, right? Bananas, oranges, lettuce. The list goes on. And speaking of lettuce, that brings me to number 5. Vegetables. So this is another big mistake I see people do. They don't track the calories in the vegetables. Yes, vegetables have calories too. So this is not air that you're ingesting. Whoops, what a waste of vegetables. Anyway, so this is not air that you're ingesting, okay? This has calories in it too. So, quick story time. Ready for story time? Gonna tell you anyways. I had a client, very, very, very small woman, okay? 4'11", she was like 105 pounds, very, very little woman. And her calories was at 1,000 a day, 1,000 a day. And I remember that when she was reporting in with her weekly reports, everything looked pretty well, right? It looked good. So I was thinking, she's not losing any more weight. Her weight has stalled. 1,000 calories are already pretty little calories. And I don't want to put her on 900 or 800 because that's very, very little, even for someone that size. So I asked her, hey, do me a favor, write down everything you're eating for me and then also take a picture as well and put the calories next to it. So she did that for me, and you know what I found out? I found out that she was not counting the calories in her salads and her veggies. So I told her, listen, start counting the calories in the veggies. She did. And what we found out was eye-opening. So what we found out was she was getting an extra 150 to 200 calories a day from veggies. So she thought that she was getting 1,000 calories a day when she was really getting 150 to 200 extra. So that's 1,150 to 1,200 a day. So vegetables, it counts. You gotta count the calories in veggies as well. Okay, that's number 5. Number 6, let's talk about outside food. So you're thinking, wisdom, does that mean I gotta eat at home all the time now for the rest of my life? Absolutely not. So the great part is that we live in America where there are plenty of restaurants out there that actually provide the nutritional information for you. Okay? We're not living in a third world country in which there's no information at all. So for example, if you were to go to Thailand right now and you're at the food stand and you ask them, hey, how many calories for that pad thai? They're gonna think, huh? You want or not? So that's the beauty about living in America, okay? So many restaurants now have the nutritional content available for you online, or they even sometimes have it in the store, well, diner and restaurant. So you just gotta ask for it, but if they don't have it, look online. Google has literally everything. So for example, if you're going to Lucille's, you type in Lucille's nutrition fact. If you're going to Outback Steakhouse, type in Outback Steakhouse nutrition facts, and you are going to find it, I promise. Anyways, going back, restaurants and outside food, there is a rule. The FDA does not give restaurants a very serious standard of counting their calories. So restaurants always have a room of mistake up to a percentage of, I believe now it's about 30%. It used to be a little less, but now it's 30%. So I tell all my clients, whenever you go to a restaurant, I want you to use your brain, okay? Look at the meal and think, is it really 500 calories? Sometimes it really is, But sometimes it could be, 30% off. So that means 30%, it could be 650 calories or 600 calories for 500 calories. So it all depends on how it looks, okay? So wherever you go, use the rule. And I would just say to below halfway, use the 10% rule, even though 10% is not half of 30. But 10% makes it easier to count. So if you're going to a restaurant and it's 500 calories, 10% of 500 is 50. So you're gonna just assume that it's 550 calories. Now, why are we doing this? We are doing this because wherever you go, whatever you order, it will never, ever be the same amount. Unless you're going to like Subway or something. Subway's pretty good about it because they're stingy about it. But if you're going to, for example, Chipotle. Let's talk about Chipotle here. If you go Chipotle, you go one day and then you ask for the same kind of bowl, chicken, rice, whatever beans. And you get someone, they give it to you, like, oh, cool. Give you rice, give you chicken, give you a good scoop, right? And let's say you go back another day. And you get someone that is just depressed. Maybe their girlfriend broke up with them the last night or something happened. Maybe their dog died. Something happened. And they're moving kind of slow and you're watching them and they're just putting your chicken in like this and you're putting in the rice like this. And you're watching, you're like, this is not the same amount I usually get. Well, is that the same amount of calories for the same bowl that you usually get? Absolutely not. Versus, you go one day, someone's really happy. Maybe this guy, he just lost his girlfriend, but now he got a new girlfriend 2 months later. So now he's happy again, right? He got a new dog, and you see the same guy. You're like, oh, hey, I remember you. And he's like, oh, hey, I remember you too. And he's like, oh, I'll take a chicken bowl. He's like, okay. So he gives you a good hefty hand of chicken, right? Then he gives you a big hand of rice, but you didn't ask him for double chicken or double rice. He just gave it to you because he's feeling happy. So this is exactly why you cannot trust restaurant outside food 100% compared to at home, where you can track a lot more accurately, okay? So that is number 6. You gotta make sure when you're going out to eat, which you can, use your mind and really wonder, is this really the right amount of calories for this meal? And the longer you've been counting calories, the better you'll get at this. So if you're a newbie right now, you're a beginner, don't even try to do this because you're most likely gonna get it wrong. It's very, very difficult, even for someone as experienced as me. Number 7, not all foods are equal. So not all calories are equal to one another. So as you're gonna be finding out for yourself, 100 calories of this versus 100 calories of that, you're gonna find one you can have a lot of and one you can't have a lot of. And this is where the concept of low calorie dense foods, which is foods you can have a lot of for very little calories, versus high calorie dense foods, which are foods that are very small and have a lot of calories, so you can have a lot of it. So let me show you an example. Right here we have oil. This is cooking oil. Why am I showing you cooking oil? I'm showing you cooking oil because this is a tremendous waste of calories if you are cooking with oil. So you see, it's not a lot at all. This is a very, 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 very tiny cup. Okay, that's my hand. This is 120 calories. Look at that, 120 calories. Oh, that's not a lot, huh? It's like, whoa, swish, swish. 120 calories from cooking oil. Strawberries. This right here, this is a good bowl. This is 110 calories from strawberries. Now, if you compare the two, which one is more filling, the strawberries or the oil? Now you're probably thinking, oh, but strawberries is fructose, it has carbs. Oh my gosh, carbs. I am so excited to teach you so much, you have no idea. Carbs, which is number 8. Carbs is not the enemy. So we've been through many times where people say, oh, it's too high in fat. So people enter like the low fat diets. Then people went into, oh, it has too much carbs. They went into the low carb diets like keto and everything else. There are phases, okay? But the most important thing is gonna be your total calories for the day. As long as you are hitting your calories and hitting your protein, you do not have to worry. I'll say that again. You do not have to worry about counting your carbs and your fats. Because if you hit your protein, the remaining calories will make up the carbs and fats you have left. So I am here to tell you carbs are not the enemy unless you have a special underlying medical condition in which, it causes inflammation in your joints and yada yada. That's a different topic, of course. But I'm speaking to the general guidelines of most people. Carbs are not your enemy. Number 9, let's go for number 9. So number 9 is the fitness myth of eating late at night. So you probably heard people tell you, oh, don't eat late at night, don't eat after 8 p.m., 10 p.m., whatever, right? Because if you do, you are gonna gain weight. That's where the weight gain fairy comes and sprinkles a bit of weight on you, and then you wake up the next day bloated and heavy. This is true and also not true, but this is only not true if you are counting your calories and staying at your calories. So I got 2 scenarios here. Let's go over it. Number 1, both people eat 1,000 calories a day, okay? So we got Peter, and then we got Jack. They both eat 1,000 calories a day. It's kind of little, huh? It's very little, I know, especially for dudes. These are very short dudes, like 4'1". They're like, miniature dudes. So Peter, he likes to spread his meals out. He likes to go meal 1, 250, meal 2, 250, meal 3, 250, meal 4, 250. This is 1,000 calories. And this is a better way to eat to optimize muscle protein synthesis, which is gonna enable you to, of course, build more muscle and burn more fat, okay? And it also helps you with your energy because you don't want to be eating just twice a day or once a day because you're gonna crash or you're gonna not have the fuel, which is what food is. It's fuel to give your body the energy it needs to work out, and do all the other things in life that we love to do. So, this is Peter. Now we have Jack. Jack is a little bit weird. He only likes to eat twice a day, and his first meal of the day, he'll get in 200 calories, right? 9 a.m. And then he will wait until he gets home at night after a long day of work, and he will get his last 800 calories in. But as you can see, this right here is still 1,000 calories, right? And this right here is also 1,000 calories. They will both lose weight, and they will be about equal. Now, the only difference here is Jack might not be able to function as optimally as Peter. Peter will have more energy throughout the day to, of course, walk more, do more, right? Work out harder. That all attributes to his NEAT, his non-exercise activity thermogenesis, if you want to get into big words. So the NEAT of your day is doing things like moving around, like me moving my fingers, I'm not really thinking about it, right? Me talking like this and moving around, this is NEAT. Technically, I am thinking about it because I'm thinking about it right now, I'm moving my hands, so technically I am thinking about it, but usually you're not. So that is NEAT, okay? So Peter has the potential to lose more weight just because he might move more than Jack. Because Jack, 200 calories, right? As the day goes on, and it's 5 p.m., he hasn't had food since 9 a.m., he might not move as much. He might start to get lethargic. He might want to take a nap. And so, Jack, his NEAT might be lower than Peter's. And so that's why I always tell people it is better to have more meals throughout the day. However, even though he's only eating twice a day, Jack, it's still 1,000 calories. And a lot of people are thinking, well, he's eating so much at night, he's gonna gain weight. No, 800 calories plus 200 is still 1,000. Now, this is how people gain weight. You see what Peter just did? Peter, what did you just do? What'd you do, Peter? Peter added a meal number 5. 500 calories at 11 p.m. Maybe he had some Ben & Jerry's. I don't know why, that's when the hunger fairy comes and sprinkles people, at night. People want donuts and sweets or whatever it is. A lot of times just boredom eating. But Peter here, he added 500 calories to his 1,000. So now he's at 1,500, okay? So this is the reason why people gain weight at night, because they're already hitting their calories throughout the day and they're adding more at the end. So that's one of the fitness myths debunked. Eating late at night will not make you gain weight unless you are going over your caloric needs. So you already hit your calories and you're getting extra calories on top of that, okay? So don't worry about eating late at night. In case you haven't hit your calories, you had a busy day, then you got my full permission to get all your food in before you go hit the hay. So now you're probably wondering, wow, that was a lot of information. That's great and all, but what about me, right? It's about you. What are my caloric needs? So this is where it gets interesting. There's many ways to do this. The first way is always going on Google and just typing in calorie calculator and you'll find a bunch. There's so many of them. It will ask you usually your age, your height, your weight, your activity level. And from there, it'll provide you with numbers, right? To lose weight, maintain, or even gain weight. So the problem with online calculators is that it cannot be 100% accurate towards everybody, okay? So there are people whose metabolism has slowed down due to chronic yo-yo dieting in the past. So this usually happens to a lot of women who try to lose weight and then they gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight. And the more times that a woman has done this, the harder it actually does get to actually lose weight. Because the first time a woman has ever dieted, right? Do you remember the first time you ever dieted? First time that you have ever dieted was the easiest. And then the second time was not as easy, but it was easy too. But by the 10th time and the 20th time, it just slows down because that's what your metabolism is made to do. It's made to help you survive. So online calculators do not put into that as a So online calculators do not account for your diet history, which plays a huge role in how many calories you need per day, okay? So that's where experienced coaches come in and they can tell you, hey, let's go on this amount of calories, and then they change it up and it's an ongoing process, all right? So for those of you who are wondering, well, what's my calories? This is what we do. We give you your calorie number. And then from there, we watch how you do. Now, we're pretty good with guessing because we've been doing this for a long time. And that's why we ask questions like, for example, your age, weight, height, what do you do for your job? How many times have you dieted in the past? Gives us a general guideline to give you an appropriate number for your first week of counting calories. Now, your first week, it's so important. You wanna make sure you are tracking 100%. And if you use the rules that I give you, the advice tips in this video, it should help you tremendously to make sure you are at least 95, 99% accurate in your track, okay? So your first week, the goal is not to actually lose weight or gain weight. The goal is to find out what your body needs to maintain. So no one is ever 100% accurate. Okay, but here's the thing. Your first week, you're just trying to find out what you need, what your body needs to survive and what it needs to maintain on. So if you gain 2 pounds, gain a pound, and you're trying to lose weight in your journey, that's okay because now we found out that this amount of calories is too much and you're gaining weight from that. So we can start to make the appropriate changes for your goals. Now, if you're trying to gain weight, right? In your first week, you count calories and you lose 2 pounds, that's okay too, because like I said, now we have the data that we need so we can actually start to gain weight if your goal is to gain weight. So the first week of counting calories is where you get to find out how is my current metabolism doing. And once we find that out, that's when we can start to get to work on your goals. Your first week, again, your goal is just to find out what does my body need. And after that, it's game time. And finally, the last part of the video for all of my clients, my wonderful clients, the secret phrase of the video is I am ready. So text that to me on Facebook Messenger, and then I will be sending you your next steps, which is your calories and a video on how to send me your weekly report. So let's do this. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be providing more value. And like the video if you found the information helpful, which I'm sure you did. And comment down below any thoughts. I'm here to help. See you in the next video. Bye.